Welcome back to all the shiny watercolors. So I bought this box of watercolor paint set for $8, or a little bit less than $8. It was on sale on a flash deal that had like 5 minutes left on it, so I had to make a decision with what little money I had left on my credit card. It's normally $22. I don't know anything about this brand. I know their grasp of the English language really sucks. But we are going to unbox it. So it came with, and I think it's worth it at the $8 price just for the palette alone. It did come with a pad of paper, which we are not opening today. We're going to set this aside because we already have our paper prepped. And so it's a travel kit. It has a travel ring on it. And let's turn it over. It has this extra palette here. And it has 30 colors and a water brush and a sponge, of course. And I believe it feels like, oh no, that don't come out. So that's a little flimsy, but it's not supposed to come out. We're not going to use the water brush either because we already have, we're at home and we already have our palette set up. So we are going to do a side-by-side here. It does take up a lot of space on my desk, but I'll have to get used to that, right? So let's activate it with a spritz of water. Let me remove my tablet from here so I don't get it wet. We're going to test these colors straight from the tube, straight from the palette. And then we're going to also test it using QRR medium. So, as usual, we start our palette with white. That noise is it's garbage day, so forgive me for the noise of garbage day. I might have to wet it with the dropper bottle because paint's not as happy as the other one. And there are no paint color names. There are no paint color names on the box. So. But these are different, not that I can barely tell. This is a peach color though. It's not too gritty or sandy, so it doesn't feel chalky. I'm not sure why we would need colors so close in range, because we could just, vary it by the amount of water we're using, but who might question designers, right? Didn't look like I'd use that one. Potentially problematic as it looks like we've already run out of paper. We'll just have to switch it over, right? So I'm just curious why there's yellow, red, purple, blue, purple, green, purple. Maybe this is a blue color, it just looks purple. Nope, it looks purple to me. Oop. Wow. I'm gonna have to add a little more water because it's so hot in here it's already drying out. That's better. Look at that. Oh, I guess I could have used a better brush. Anyway, we've seen that side of the colors. And I should have planned that better and done a half and half because I almost made it to halfway through the page. Give it a little blast here. Alrighty. I will say it seems to be staining my brush well. My brush is already many colors. So to me, does anyone else notice brown colors seem to be very gritty? That's better. So I want to say, yeah, these are a bit chalky. Ooh, that one's very transparent. And that color almost looks like between those two colors. It's not that big of a difference. There we are. So our next test after this is to see with QR medium. I don't really want to add QR medium directly to the palette, but we really don't need to test how well QRI medium will make it. We know how nice QRI medium is going to do to paint. Anyway, we tested this palette, and we can see that it is still on the lower side of student quality. But it's a workable palette, even though it's kind of muted. I'm pretty sure just spritzing with QR medium mixed in water would make it much more vibrant. I'm not sure of the color fastness, as it doesn't say. It says bright colors, high saturation, smooth hand feeling, easily soluble in paint, and fast drying, durable, light permanency, color transparency and fastness, easy to carry through special concentration technology, compressed into small size but also have large capacity. Can express very bright colors after something. It is very bright, so it is decently pigmented. How to use. Containing a water pen can be filled with water and pinch the pen until the nib effluent wet the pigment. Waiting for pigment turning, then we can start painting. When you want to change another color, just pinch the pen, make the water come from the pen nib. After the nib clean, repeat upper steps. So there is a thing for a tutorial here, but I'm sure we all know how to manage colors. They have other sets that potentially come with fewer colors or don't come with paper or a brush. But if you buy this on sale for $8 just for the palette alone would be great. I love how this palette comes free and sets over it. Look how nice that is. If you don't like the flimsiness of the palette that's in there, you can just rip this whole thing out and put half pans in there of your own choosing. But this is a good starter palette for kids, or for young kids, or for someone who just wants to get started with watercolor and doesn't really care how fancy their paints are. I would recommend probably getting one of these bottles, putting 1 drop of this into it, and using that as the wetting medium, because that will make the paint have a better vibrancy, opacity, and probably fastness of the paper. Anyway, this has been all the shiny watercolors. Please check, like, share, and subscribe below to help us bring you more content. Have a great day and happy painting!